All right, welcome back to Master Key.
Welcome back. Ready for a new fight?
Yeah, and while we're fighting, I'll continue to talk about. So, that's another thing. Like, so Goku's like back to his full personality, so great, like so much of a better character than what he once was. No kind of lines are changed. The dub is better, but the pacing, like the pacing of everything. I know some people will be turned off by all of the filler being cut, and like it does kind of suck. You can still always watch the original Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z in order to.
Oh, I'm not playing.
Oh shit.
Ah, whatever. All right, just do your thing.
Yeah, the original Dragon Ball. If you want that filler, but like watch Kai as a separate experience, because it's like it's what Dragon Ball Z is like with full-on story-like pacing. It doesn't have the shitty tropes that have to do with usual manga adaptations. Like there's no like padding for time. There's no like unnecessary like people talking in between like fights to make the runtime better. There's no like none of that kind of stuff. It's just straight up story, plot. The fights are expedient, and it's all of the important parts of the fights. No punch goes unwasted. No effect goes unwasted. Like it's just phenomenal. Like it's how Dragon Ball Z was meant to be watched, no matter what language you watched it in. And like there is something that might annoy people, and that's that this is my main problem with it. It's that in restoring it and doing what they did with it, some of the original footage was like destroyed and lost, like some of the original cells and frames, so they had to redraw it. So there will be times when like everything looks really new for like a frame, for like maybe like a scene, like it just looks like Battle of the Gods or Super Era quality for like a scene, and it's just really jarring. But if you can get over that, it's really rewarding. And then every single like beam struggle where like everything, like the screen would be taken up by a color, like when Goku fires a Kamehameha wave and the screen goes blue and stuff, the effects are updated, so it looks great.
Oh, so they remastered that?
Yeah, it's all remastered. And the other thing, now this might interest you, Fano, because you didn't watch the original English dub. Mm-hmm. So this is another thing that might turn people off, and it definitely turned me off at first. So, in the original Dragon Ball Z, in the English version for Funimation, they replaced the original Japanese score. And they got a composer named Bruce Falconer, who is a real, like, movie composer, to compose a new one. And the new score has, like, all this, like, electro rock type stuff with it. And it's all meant to, like, increase the drama and make you feel, like, tell you how to feel for every scene. There's, like, music everywhere, and it's always, like, this scene is silly, this scene is action-packed, this scene is epic, right? And it's stuff we grew up with, for those who watched Dragon Ball Z back then. And it was epic. There are some people who don't like it and prefer the original Japanese. I prefer the Falconer score to the T. But they couldn't do that in Kai. So it's the original Japanese score on certain parts, and then a new score from the original from the original airing and the other. So if you can get over that, and I know it's hard, but if you can get over that, it's fantastic. Like they still keep like Chala, head chala.
Oh my god, that song is so good in Spanish. Like it's, and I know we had this conversation before, and you guys like grew up with the dragon.
Well, we actually didn't.
Ball Z.
We actually didn't like. This is the thing about. Okay, maybe some people watched it. I don't know on a different platform. We grew up in the original dub back when it was still the Ocean Group, right? Yeah. That's when they did that replacement score, but that stopped like midway through the Ginyu Force arc when really? Funimation took it, and instead. But the thing is that I actually didn't get.
I know. Oh shit, they're all fire. Never mind. Yes, flame fruit. I know it was something dumb and silly, but
I actually didn't grow with any sort of theme song with Dragon Ball because I watched it on Toonami. We got the Toonami bumps, which was the like heavily edited like super clips of like epic moments from the show.
Yeah, I watched those.
Like that's what we got. So I didn't actually see. And then when we saw the uncut version that aired that wasn't on Toonami, they had like a completely new like really like kind of industrial sounding kind of theme song. So I never got Chala Head Chala, but Dragon Dragon Rock the Dragon was only for a little bit.
The thing about oh shit, I got shot in the face by a Tommy gun. And then hit with a bike. Okay, let's try it again. What I really, really like about the score, the original theme songs and everything, and I mean, what they did for the Spanish dub of it, and it's the like Latin American dub, because there's a like an European Spanish dub and a Latin American dub, but what they did for the Latin American one is that they translated the songs from the Japanese to Spanish.
Oh,
and they
cool.
did a great job. I mean, the lyrics are pretty similar. And the general point of the songs, like what they're talking about, it's kind of the same. So you have these like super shonen themes, and the song is about like it's like those anime songs, you know, like they talk about like what the show is about in a way, and these songs are made for the show. So like Shala Head Shala in Spanish is just amazing, and it just hits it just hits you right in the feels, because you know they talk about friendship, they talk about fighting, they talk about like trying hard and all that, all the themes that you're here to see when you're watching a shonen. And one of my favorite, it would translate to We Were Angels, and it's the ending after the Cell Saga, like during the Majin Buu and all of that, where you know, like when Goku is dead and he's like saying goodbye, he's flying away with angel wings and everything, and it's kind of all about what you know, what you were talking about, like what Goku does when he becomes like a hero, that he puts being a hero before, you know, being a father and being like a normal guy and everything. It's all about the sacrifice and why he's dead, you know, and why he chose to stay dead. So I mean, obviously the song's not explicitly telling you that, but I mean,
if that's what it is, that's what the theme is about.
Exactly, and that song, it's called something that would translate to "We Were Angels" or "We've Become Angels" or something like that. Another one is and this one I don't really know if this one speaks that directly to the themes or everything, but the GT ending theme, it's a little bit cheesy. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like this guy remembering a girl that he knew when they were kids, and he's telling her that he's still in love with her. And it's just one of my favorite anime songs. And Shala Head Shala is just like this super high energy, ready for fucking dead.
Okay. Whatever you got for GT was probably leaps and bounds better than what we got, because our GT theme song was terrible. It was like this hip hop thing. It was like, "Welcome to the Grand Tour, Dragon Ball G." It was so dumb, and I was like, "Oh god."
Oh my god! I think we should like edit that here right now, like for this victory, like, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that, I mean, cool. It was cool because that was a lot of people I knew didn't know what GT stood for, and I kind of guessed that GT stood for Grand Tour, considering what the entire first arc was about, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
I always thought it was like, just like a racing term or something. I don't know. I don't know cars, but
yeah,
something like that. That's what I always thought. But yeah, I don't know. In general, they did like a great job. And back then, this is like 90s in Mexico. They just bought. It was so much cheaper to just buy the rights for anime and dub them than like create your own thing. Mexico has like a growing animation industry, but it's not phenomenal. Like people are not investing money in it, and it's a very rough industry. I think it's a very rough industry everywhere in the world, because you know, it's all about producing things fast and cheap and everything, and we could just have a whole rant of that. both Joey and I have a little bit of a background in animation, and but in Mexico, what they did in the 90s is that they just bought a bunch of anime. So my generation, we just grew up watching these. We grew up watching Saint Seiya and Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon, and like we had Speed Racer and Gatchaman, and we had what else did you have? We had like there was Voltron. We had like all these classic 80s, 90s animes, like straight up all over the place, and everyone like watched them, you know.
Yeah.
And what they did is that they just like bought the rights for that, and they aired them, and they dubbed them, and they just adapted everything. So it was the logical move in that sense, to just, you know, you bought the rights for this, you're translating the show from Japanese, but you're gonna translate the theme song too. So you find somebody that knows like a little bit of like, you know, music and whatnot, and they do dubbing, and you know, you ask them to just compose a song that's this song but in this language. So we got pretty good. We got a pretty good feel for the music too, which is something that's really cool, I think. Because I mean, I just love anime music. I could just like listen to that all day. It's just the beat, like it's just so upbeat. It just fills you with energy. And even when it's like nothing, and I just love like. Recently, I just finished Ghost Stories. Talking about dolls, that's just amazing. It seriously became one of my favorite things. But oh shit, I think he's like in his little invincibility frames.
Yeah.
That's why I get with trying to combo this shit. But crap. Damn it, Joey. Oh, I think I hit him. But anyway, on what was I saying? On Ghost Stories, like the ending of it, it's like the end theme. It's just like the most random like song, and just like what is like I miss you, I need you, I need you, sexy. And it's like it has nothing to do with like what the show is about, but it's just such a fun song, you know.
That's par for the course with a lot of anime.
Yeah.
The opening, the anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. And speaking of, one of my all-time favorite songs ever, and we'll cut after this, I guess, is Ready Steady Go and by Larkin CL that features in Full Metal Alchemist. It's like the second or third one. Oh my god, I think that's the song that really got me into anime music, or I guess J-rock or whatever that would be. But actually, Full Metal Alchemist is an anime that got me back into anime. I grew up watching anime, and then I kind of just stopped. You know, you hit that age where it's like, whatever, dude, I'm cool, I'm into grown-up shit, and then you're like watching Full Metal Alchemist, and you're like, holy shit, mind blown. Like, oh my god, that show is like so fucking good.
Oh yeah, both of our themes for Full Metal Alchemist were fantastic too. Mm-hmm. Love them all.
No, well, at that point, like, I was just watching. You know, the thing is that it got to a point where that was another anime that we had in Mexico. I can't remember what it was called, but it's this guy Nube. I think it was something like Hell Teacher Nube,
mm-hmm.
and it was this guy. I mean, it's a freaking trope, the general trope, but it's like this guy is a school teacher, that he's an exorcist, and there's like ghosts and spirits and demons in the school and around, and he is teaching and protecting the students and exorcising and doing like the spirit detective kind of thing, and he before the show starts, he manages to trap a very powerful demon in his right hand, because that's the only way he was gonna beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he has the demon hand, and then he uses the demon hand's power to fight other demons, and it is so good. That anime was pretty good. I don't know, like a lot of these things that I'm saying are just so good. I know that wouldn't stand the test of time. They probably didn't age well.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like it depends on a lot of them. Like there are some that are just ugh. But then there are some that just, like, it doesn't matter, like, what your age group is. You're just gonna love watching them no matter what.
Sure.
And that actually, I'll start the conversation about it next time, because there's actually something to be said about dubs in that regard. It's like, anime in general has, like, to preface that, anime in general has come so far in the West. And America has like those huge issues with animation.
Yeah.
And
oh god, they downed me.
yeah. And we oh shit. I thought it was to do the ultimate burst. I wasn't paying attention.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah. But like, it's come so far along now, and I'm so happy to be living in this age where, like, you can just go on Crunchyroll, watch all these kinds of anime you want for free, or like, watch it on Netflix or Hulu or any of your free stuff of choice.
Well, I think that it's just that the fact that anime has become something of a world culture. It's not just like a Japanese thing. And I mean, yeah, you've got it might be something that the more like geeky or nerdy crowd enjoys more and whatever, but I think it's like, even if you're not into anime, it's like, what anime is. When I was like growing up and everything, it was just like, oh yeah, whatever, those like cartoons or those like Japanese cartoons would be like the most distinction some people would make, but now it's like almost everyone will know what anime is and what anime means. So it's just becoming part of like a culture, and the fact that like Netflix has like an anime section, the fact that there's all these services like Crunchyroll and everything, and it's I mean, in a way, I know it's kind of part of the circle in which, and the world, like our sphere of influence, because what we like, our friends, what we're into, what we do, but at the same time, it's something that's just transcended. It's part of a world culture now.
Oh, definitely. Anyway, and we will continue talking about this next time on Master Key.
Next time, all right. Check tomorrow for a new episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content. Make sure to hit the next episode for more episodes when they come out. And make sure to hit the playlist if you're just joining us and want to see the first ones. Thank you, and have a great day.